Well, welcome everyone. We'd like to get started with today's event. Well, my name is Mike Almendinger. I'm with the Kilbourne Group, and also have Scott Neal with RD Offutt Company, Bob Eno with McGough Construction, Mayor Tim Mahoney, as well, and then we also have Joel Vettel with the Fargo Parks. So we're excited to share some project highlights with you all today, and go through some exciting times here. So today we're here to talk about the project that's going to happen in the parking lot right behind us. It's 7 different uses. It has retail on the first floor. It has about 100,000 square feet of office space. 125 has an amenity floor for multiple business events, wedding events. We're having residential condos, parking structure, and then right where we're all standing in this location is going to be a community plaza that we're very excited about. So there's a lot of activity going to be happening here in this building. It's going to be about the height of the Radisson, and it's $1 million investment that'll be taking place in this project. When we go back to like how did we get to this place and what's been happening for on this piece of property through all the years, this piece of property is called Block 9 on the Keeney and Dievitz addition that was platted in 1877, and this was before the city of Fargo was incorporated in 1893. And there was many different buildings and businesses in this location for all of these years since 1870, and there were and that included over 3 or 4 different hotels. The Perkins restaurant was in this location. Many mixed uses that really have supported in our downtown Fargo, and then there was a fire in 1976. U.S. Bank had built their structure following that fire, and ever since it's been a surface parking lot for all of those years. Now today, this surface parking lot that's been here generates $14,000 a year in property taxes, and in 2 years, the Block 9 partners, will be paying $1.2 million annually for infrastructure that will benefit public and private uses for this property. And that is 85% more. That's 85% more than what's being paid right now. So 10 years ago, Kilbourne Group was getting started with projects in downtown Fargo, and we were thinking about this surface parking lot. You go back to community master plans that were put into place, and one of the main goals going back 20 years ago was to have infill projects occurring on the surface parking lots in downtown Fargo, and and so when we approached U.S. Bank, they were excited about some sort of project happening in this location, and the first thing that we did is we started a design competition, this international design competition was meant to get community feedback on what is the best use for this piece of property. We had about 167 people share ideas for what could happen in this location. It came from 43 different countries, and we shared that with the community in the Loretta building on the 2nd floor. So there were about a couple thousand individuals that came through and community members, and there were prizes given away to contest, people that were competing for those ideas, and it really inspired us to help us think about what is the best use for this piece of property. We considered building a project like 300 Broadway. The Kilbourne Group built 300 Broadway, which is across the street by the Fargo Theater. It's a beautiful structure, brick, 3-story building, and but that competition inspired us to think aspirationally, and we thought about projects like the Black Building. The Black Building, is also this great structure in downtown Fargo, Art Deco building, built in 1930s. At a time of the depression for the country, and here Fargo built a 8-story beautiful Art Deco building, and this tells a story about our downtown Fargo, our region, and it gets us excited about thinking about how architecture, how downtown buildings, the buildings that we are building will inspire our city, will build the confidence of everyone in our community, and really support the region for all the future activity and future economic activity of our region. And so it was very fun to be thinking about that project. We started thinking about SOM or just architects and who we can hire. So we wanted somebody with an expertise in mixed uses, and we ended up working with SOM, Skidmore, Owings Merrill, out of Chicago. This team has been with us for 9 years working on this project. They are experts in mixed-use buildings. They understand Midwest cities, and they've been a great partner on this project. So for 5 years, we were looking for businesses and partners to work with us on this project. We'd like to we'd like to give a shout out to U.S. Bank for being patient with us through this time. We had to go to them many times and keep showing them what are our updates and what are the visions for this project, and they liked the project. They liked the team. They saw the vision, and they have always supported the idea of this project occurring in this location. And but after looking for 5 years, in 2014, R.D. Offutt Company said yes to having their headquarters in this location, and that is the day that this project became real. It's been a great pleasure to be working with R.D. Offutt Companies in this project. This is a premier and tremendous worldwide company that has been committed to the region, the city of Fargo, and downtown Fargo as well. So we're very excited to have R.D. Offutt Company, committing their future headquarters to this location, and it's going to be really supporting our central business district for this overall region this overall region. After we started working with RDO, we wanted to find a great hotel partner for this project, and we were touring hotels in Minneapolis, and on one of those tours we went to the Hewing Hotel. Hewing Hotel inspired us and kind of captured our attention. It's a hotel that has all of the roots of northern Minnesota, Scandinavian heritage, and we were able to connect with the owners, find out what kind of business they're doing, where if they're interested in Fargo. They came to Fargo and they spent time here, and the Aperium team, when they came here, the first thing that they were looking at is our downtown, but also all of the local businesses that are here in Fargo, the local craft that's happening, the food and beverage scene, all the local businesses, and they were inspired, and they were, I think, pleasantly surprised, and they loved Fargo immediately, and they kept coming back. We kept having great discussions, and we're very excited to have Aperium as our hotel partner in this project. Next, we worked on the plaza. There's two big challenges with the plaza for this location. Again, this is going to be occurring right in the location that we're all standing right now. And first of all is the capital cost to get a project built. The Block 9 partners are paying for 100% of the project costs for this community plaza. And then next, we wanted to figure out how to keep this plaza operational and full of activities, and have it highly programmed, for all the years to come. And we know that we needed somebody that has, a lot of creativity, innovation, and the Fargo Parks, stepped up to the challenge right away when we talked to them. We've been talking to them for, a number of years about the potential of this project. When it became real and we introduced it to them, they immediately started looking to other cities like Rapid City that are also operating a plaza like this in that city. And it's been a great partnership to getting things kicked off for Fargo Parks, and we're looking forward to that. All the future events happening in this location. City of Fargo, they have been also another really important and great partner in this project. They have very thoughtful economic policies that are allowing this project to happen. This project wouldn't be happening without those policies in place. Right away, this project is going to be providing some immediate public benefits as soon as we're done with construction, including the use of plaza and use of the parking structure to support the events that are happening in downtown Fargo. There are no taxpayer dollars going to this project, and there is no risk for this for the city as a part of building this project either. We'd also like to thank our capital partners, all of our lenders in the project, and our investors that have been supporting this project as well. Again, it would not be happening without the support of all of them. This has been a long project. It's been worth the wait. We've every day we work on this. We have a great collaboration. It keeps getting better every single day, and I think about the collaboration that has happened in this project. There's not one individual or one organization that can take all the credit for this project. This is a perfect example of when you say a project keeps getting better with collaboration. This has had so many different organizations and stakeholders touching it throughout 10 years of work, and we are so excited to have this project breaking ground, finally starting, and we could not be more excited about the potential of this site. So with all that, I'd like to introduce to you Scott Neal with RD Offutt Companies, and I would like to welcome the entire RD Offutt team to downtown Fargo, and thank you for being part of this project.
Well, thank you, Mike. My name is Scott Neal. I'm president of the real estate side of RD Offutt Companies. And for me, the reality after 4 years of running point for RDO was about 10 days ago we had a closing. And there were, I don't know, 7, 8 attorneys there, Mike. And 3 tables, I kid you not, 3 long French tables of documents that are all about this thick. So it's like a home closing times 100. And it was what, 300 plus signatures, I think? Which means you spend a lot of money, is what that really kind of ends up, because you had your banker, you had US Bank, you had literally everybody wanting to take a piece of you with the signature. So anyway, that's when it kind of hit home. For me, this is super exciting, and I think for RDO it's super exciting as well. My wife asked me, Shelly asked me the other day, what are you going to talk about? And she said, talk about the building or how many employees are coming, and I said, no, I said, I'm number 2 or 3 on the list. And I said, they're probably going to talk about that already. I think it should be kind of like the Oscars, where it should be like short and something personal and then some thank yous. And she kind of gave me this look, like, somebody that's known you for a while gives you this look. Like she was reading my bubble thought. And so I'm thinking, like, there's got to be a red carpet. I'm going to be on stage. And I get my 15 minutes of fame, right? So I'm going to talk for 15 minutes, so that's okay. Or not. Anyway, no, seriously, as Mike said, we are a worldwide company. There's lots of options for us to have considered in terms of our growth plan. And honestly, there's some probably good arguments considering we're abroad. We do a lot of travel, intercompany travel. And hub cities such as Minneapolis or Dallas or Denver or something like that might make some business sense. And in terms of hiring and so forth, there are some good arguments for for diversifying and doing different locations. But as we celebrate our 50th anniversary with RDO Equipment Company, having started its roots in this area in Castleton, it kind of brings it all home for us. And it was after about a year of working with our current Island Park facility, we kind of recognized that facility was not going to be big enough, but wanted to keep our roots here in North Dakota, and specifically in Fargo, North Dakota. So from a family perspective, and we are what we call ourselves G2, or second generation after Ron, and of course his father are from this area. It was really an easy decision for us to stay here, remain here, and create a legacy for our children. We have 5 G3 members that are a part of the group as well. And so, thank you for letting us be a part of Fargo, North Dakota. And this is a little bit of we want to continue to invest and hire and grow in this area as well. So we appreciate you for that. In terms of the thank yous, a project like this doesn't get done very easily, and there's a lot of people, and hopefully I don't leave too many people off the list here, but The first task was for me as a developer is working city relationships and making sure that the idea is viable and it's going to work. And so the city, of course, I've got to thank the mayor, Mayor Mahoney, city manager Bruce Grubb, planner Jim Gilmore. I see him over here. Jim's like me, we're all moving up in age, and so Jim, some 4.5 years ago, I sat down with him and said, "What do you think? I drew this kind of fun, not a very good drawer. I drew this funny tower on the deal," and he's like, "Yeah, we can do that." So it's been a long relationship, right, Jim? So that, and of course the city council for their approval. Parks District, again, that was something we knew. We weren't experts at the park side, so being a long time. For those who remember, Roger Gress was a director for quite a while. So Roger's probably not here, but I want to personally thank him for his early efforts in getting this project started. Of course, Joel's been super supportive of us after taking over. Finance Director Jim Larson, he's been very supportive in helping Joel and Roger develop the business plan and so forth for that. And then, of course, the enterprise events committees, operational departments, and their park board as well. And then lastly, or not quite last, the RDO family, if you will. The family's been very supportive of me running point to try to get this development done. It's generally we work a little quicker than 4 years on one project, so to stick with it has been very exciting for me. But there's a couple of names I want to name internally as well, and they were very, very helpful. Tom Espel, our treasurer, was super instrumental in getting the finance package put together, which was not an easy task, trust me. Paul Noah, our general counsel, as I said, 3 pages of documents, so there's a lot of work for him. Casey Jackson, very instrumental on our side in terms of the building and the structure and working with SOM in the design side. So, and then finally, Mike with Kilbourne Group has been an awesome partner to help with. So with that, thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the red carpet at our opening in 2 years. Sorry, just file with me.
Thanks, Scott. My name's Bob Eno. I'm a senior vice president with McGough Construction, and I just want to let you guys know that the McGough team is just thrilled to be partnering with the Offutt Company and the Kilbourne Group on such a significant project here for the city of Fargo. Our team, led by Fargo General Manager Derek Hession, will consist of a number of individuals specifically selected from throughout our organization for their experience in constructing facilities of this size and scope. Our superintendents, Lynn Hansen and Russ Klein, have over 60 combined years of experience building large, complex projects to very demanding standards. McGough is excited to get a shovel in the ground. You will likely see additional activities around here as soon as tomorrow. Great emphasis has been placed on the overall safety of this project. Our safety program encompasses pedestrian and vehicular traffic issues, in addition to the safety and well-being of the 250 or more craftspeople that will be on site at any given time. Throughout the duration of this project, we will be committed to making thoughtful decisions to minimize impacts on our neighbors. An example of this is our method for constructing the piling system. Typically, piling systems for a building like this consist of large steel tubes driven into the ground by means of a large hammering system. Instead of this process, which creates a lot of noise and sends vibrations through the ground, potentially affecting neighboring buildings, the team has opted to use an auger cast system, which will, in essence, be a drilling system rather than a hammering system, thereby reducing the noise and vibration that typically is experienced. We will start with excavating work on the northeast corner of the site where the parking garage will be located. Then we will move to the tower and foundation structure directly behind me. The final phase will be the new plaza where we are all assembled here today. Our plan is to deliver the entire project ready for occupancy in the fall of 2020. Now I would like to introduce Joel Vettel, of the Fargo Park District to tell us a little bit more about the plaza. Joel?
First off, I'd want to say thank you to Scott. And the reason why is I never thought that I'd have a life-size statue made of me right there. It's incredible. That'll be on display later. Appreciate that. No, I do want to take an opportunity to first of all thank Bob for the great introduction. I can't fathom the amount of energy and knowledge that it takes to tackle a project like this, and everything I've heard about what they do it well, and they build things to last, but more importantly, they build it for safety, they build it for security, they build it so that it doesn't impact neighborhoods, and that's really was the goal. And so we really want to thank them for their vision of coming along on this project. As they said, my name is Joel Vettel. I'm the Executive Director of the Fargo Park District, and certainly our mission all along is to improve the lifestyles of the community throughout a comprehensive system of parks and programs. And when you think about the diversity that our community has become, I really look at this plaza as a symbol of what that is. The diversity that we need, the things that we need to have as far as vision to move forward in what we want to accomplish. And so when I look across this space, I know the people that from the Kilbourne group and RDO, when they started talking about these ideas, they looked across this plaza, this existing space, and said, they didn't just see a cement seating area, they just didn't see a parking lot, they saw a vision. They saw a vision of what could be one of the greatest play spaces in our entire community, and especially downtown. A place that has an incredible amount of history, but more importantly, an incredible amount of community. And so having a space like this, a jewel of the Park District that we can help facilitate over 200 programs and 200 events per year is an incredible gift to our community. So I thank them for that. You know, I do have to reminisce a little bit. It was 20 years almost to the day that I began my career here in Fargo. And as many of you know, I started my career here as a police officer. And I actually walked these very streets downtown. And I'm here to tell you, it's far different now than it was 20 years ago, right? Can everybody agree with that? Let's see a big round of applause if we can agree with that. And, you know, it's incredible to see that journey as we've moved forward over the last 2 decades and see the change. And much of that change has come from vision. Vision of people that are much bigger, stronger, smarter, and do all those things that make impacts to communities and what makes community great. And as I look across the stage, but I also look across the audience, and I see those people of vision. And I want to take an opportunity to thank, first off, our board. I know a number of them are here today. Stacy Griggs, Joe Deutsch, Rusty Popacek, we have Vicki Dawson, and then also Jerry Rusted. I wanted you, if we would, join me in giving them a big round of applause for their commitment to this project. Also mentioned earlier was my predecessor, and again, if you remember Roger Gress, when I took over this job, many people said, you have really big shoes to fill. And I said, I will try to fill the shoes, but the size of his pants, I could never do that. I can't get there from here. So, but I appreciate Roger. He did a great job of bringing this project forward, along with the other Joe Deutsch, who I mentioned earlier. We're just great visionaries as far as bringing this project to the forefront. And so, finally, I do have to reminisce one more time. When I talk about vision and I talk about the energy needed, we couldn't do anything at the Park District without partnerships. And if you know me at all, you know that I believe wholeheartedly in strong partnerships and utilizing partnerships and collaboration to get great things done in our community. And when you look across who we partner with, we are very proud to say that we have great partners. And it was, again, I talked about 20 years ago. I want to go back 25 years ago when I was in college, and a roommate of mine came home, and he was extremely excited. He had just been offered a job with what he described as his dream employer. And the level of excitement was overwhelming to watch me as he really celebrated his first job, and that dream employer was RDO. And so as I look what we've done with this partnership today, I feel that excitement that he had because we have, with that partnership with RDO, with the Kilbourne group, it's a symbol that not only makes the Park District stronger, but this entire community stronger. And so with that, I say thank you. I want to thank again our entire staff, the board at the Fargo Park District, and more importantly, the community that makes the Park District so great. Without your commitment to excellence, without your commitment to community, without your commitment to quality of life, we wouldn't be where we're at today. So thank you very much. And at this point, it's my proud privilege to introduce a man, and I do have to comment one thing. If you notice to his right, he's the only one that brought some sort of headgear. He brought a helmet, and I didn't realize what it was for, but I also have spoken enough with the mayor that he probably is the only person that needs protection when he gets done speaking. So with that, I give you the mayor.
What a great day. We are so excited about this project when we look around the city of Fargo, what's happened. Commissioners, I know Grinberg's here. Any other commissioners here? Pipcorn, you're tall enough we can see you somewhere. And John Strand, maybe? I know Garrick is out in the circus. Anyway, the commissioners put this together and are very excited about this project, but I have to go back in history a little bit. In the 90s, Mayor Furness was trying to look a way to rejuvenate the downtown. If you went downtown, there was very few people walking around. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on. You could see Joe Vettel sitting having coffee all over, but there wasn't a lot happening at that time. And Furness tried to find something that would work. And actually, it's funny how Grinberg haunts us a little bit because in the legislative body, he helped bring forward the Renaissance Zone. When they got the Renaissance Zone, Ronnie Offit was the first person put on the Renaissance Zone. How did he ever think that 20 years later, he would be doing a project and it's part of the Renaissance Zone? So that's really forward thinking, I think. And the beauty of having the Renaissance Zone is downtown property has gone through a value of 150. It used to be about 150 million. We're up to 600 million. That's how much growth we've had downtown. And you know, game days down here a lot of times, and we all know the Bison, and they're like the 6-time national champions, right? So let's go to this little exercise. $100 million project to $600 million. We now have $700 million worth of property downtown. That's fantastic. And just like that, the Bison also are going to be 7-time national champions. That's our predictor. And the other thing I want to get it very clear, Joel and I were talking, and I did rappel down the black building, and that's not too many stories, but I volunteered Joel to rappel down the new building. That's 18 stories, and it's rumored he may be able to see the Bismarck Capitol from here. We're very pleased with this project. Gary Johnson worked long and hard on the legal part as well, and over we went to different problems that came up, and our partners went through those problems and tried to figure out a solution. And to me, it's like being in difficult surgery when you're trying to work your way back out. There was a way in which we finally figured out a way to make it happen. Not only did we make it happen, but we made it cost more. So that's fantastic for a city that likes taxes. Couple things happen in the city of Fargo, and what we all have to be aware of. Our farm, our Red River Valley Farmers Market, has over 100,000 people every summer. That is growing every year. We never thought a couple ice cream parlors would suddenly bring children down into our area. And we're an urban city now. The more urban we get and the more activity we have downtown, the more comfortable it comes. More people we have move downtown. Makes us a much more vibrant city and much more sellable. We are competing with cities all over the nation as a place to go. And Offit's looked at it, and we're going to build just a small little building over next to the bar down there. And gee whiz, they found this spot. And I go from a spot that's paying me $14,000 in taxes to over $1 million. That's a pretty good get for the city of Fargo. So we're very excited about this project. For us, it's like Christmas. We have a Christmas tree here, and all these guys didn't want to shovel asphalt. So what we decided to do, we have children working in the sandbox and digging in the sandbox, and those are the people who are doing the groundbreaking for us today. So we'd like to give them a round of applause. Yeah, and this is something I think we can all celebrate. I'm so pleased you're all out here today. I hope the business owners downtown can lift with all the different activities going on here. And one of the things I look for healthiness of the city is how many cranes we have in the air. And we will have 3 cranes in the air. So if there's somebody else out there thinking about doing development, come see us. We'll be happy to help you out. So thank you for coming out today. We're very proud of this event.